Hey, it's Wolf, and in this video we are going to be creating an automatic wheat farm. It's going to be powered by villagers. Now, with wheat farms, typically you have to use redstone components like powered rails and stuff like that, but I've made this design so that it doesn't need any of those powered rails because it uses a lot of iron, like a lot. I have a ton of iron, but I don't have much gold, so and not much redstone. So I have marked out the borders of these because it's going to be a chunk. So these are all the chunk borders. And then the stuff that we need, we interrupt this broadcast with a update. So I made a major miscalculation with how much is required because I forgot that each set of rails actually produces 16 rails. So I was way off with that. So you need less than what I initially said. Anyway, so I have recalculated everything, put everything in based on what I've built, and this is what you need. So these first 4 stacks of dirt, this is for the ground. And then you need 2 1/4 stacks. This doesn't have to be dirt, it can be whatever you dig up. You're never going to see this. This goes into the ground. So this can be stone or cobblestone or dirt, whatever. I've done dirt for this tutorial. You're going to need the 3 wool. Can be whatever color, just has to be the same color. This is for the bed. You're going to need 9 acacia logs to make the acacia slabs. So if you want a different set of slabs up the top, then do that instead of these 9. 44 dark oak logs. This is for the fence around. So again, if you want a different color of fence, then do that. This also, you'll see that I sort of miscalculated, but that was because initially I had these guys sitting up here, these lanterns in my test. So that's why there was a slight miscalculation there. So you need 12 pumpkins and 12 torches. This is to make the jack-o'-lanterns. So we'll need 12 jack-o'-lanterns, and to make the pumpkins into car pumpkins, you'll need shears. So we need a boat of some description or you can use rails, whatever method you use to move the villager from wherever he is to your farm. You'll need a water bucket if you're going up and over land and everything with the boat. You'll need a hoe to obviously hoe the fields. And then for the rest of it, that's not a kill. For the rest of it, so we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks and then 59 logs. So basically 6 stacks of logs. These are going to be used for the chests, the hoppers, the chest for the minecart hoppers. It's going to be used for the composters, for the bed, and for the rail. So if you've got some of that, then you can obviously decrease the amount of logs that you need for that. And given we're using them to construct things like chests and rails and that sort of thing, these logs, so these basically 6 stacks of logs, these can be any wood, and it can be a combination of woods. So then we need 2 and almost a half blocks of 2.5 stacks of blocks of iron. So these are for the rails. So we need 256 rails. It is for 120 hoppers for the hopper lines, and then we need 64 minecart hoppers. So that's going to be this iron here is going to be used for 64 carts and then 64 hoppers. So that should be everything that you need. And if you've got an iron farm, 2.5 stacks of iron, 2.5 stacks of blocks of iron is really nothing to worry about. So that is what you need for that, and on with the rest of the video. So when you're thinking about the level of the farm, let's say you want the top of the farm to be here. So this is where the crops will actually be grown. at this level. So you want to dig down 1, 2, and 3. So you want to flatten it to this level here. Alright, I'll go do that and be back when it's done. So I've finished digging out this whole chunk. So right to the edge of the chunk borders. So if you were making a smaller one, that's fine, but this one is an entire chunk. And then I'm going to have the collection system here on the outside so that it doesn't interfere. So let's go turn this resource pack off. Now we need wood. Let's grab a bunch of it. So we're going to need to turn a whole lot of logs. So first up, we need those 2 chests for the collection system. Let's go put those down there. And then we're going to need our hoppers. So we need 120 of them if I have counted correctly. So let's get 120 chests. So that's going to be, so we've got 64, don't need them in there, 64 and then 56. Let's go 54, then 56. Okay, now let's grab some of that iron. That'll be enough. Turn it in, oh my gosh. Turn it into iron ingots, and I'm going to need to grab a couple more iron ingots because of that one. Come on. Hate when that happens. So let's go a couple more, 56. So now we have 64 and 56. We'll deal with those off camera. So we set up our collection system. So the way that I'm doing it is like this. So I'm coming off and leaving a gap here. So there's a gap here and a gap over there. And then we pull it all the way to the end. And I'll speed this up. Alright, so we have a pattern that looks like this. So there's a gap on one side and no gap on the other, simply because it's an even number. Essentially dividing each of the entire area into blocks of 4, and there needs to be 1 hopper per block of 4, which is why we can get away with not having as many hoppers. Now, if you were getting a lot of items, then hoppers clogging up could be an issue. However, the speed that farmers harvest and that the wheat grows, that's not going to be an issue. So we have this, and now we fill in all the spaces around there with a block of your choice. So I'm going to do it with dirt. You can do it with whatever you would like. Okay, so that took just over 2 stacks of dirt. Now, this part here, this isn't the area that is being farmed, so it doesn't need to be dirt. You're not going to need to till it. It can be stone or whatever. You're going to get a whole lot of that from digging out the area. Alright, I'll be back when it's daytime. So the next step is to sort out our rails. So we're going to need 256 rails, which means I've replaced the iron that I used to make those helmets. So we're going to need some more planks. We are going to need, to make these rails, we're going to need 256 sticks, which is 4 stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, good. And now we're going to need some more iron. Let's go convert these into iron ingots. So we're going to need, so 256 is 4 stacks. So I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we've got 4 stacks of rails. Now, here comes the fun part. So you can start at whatever corner you want. Make sure when you touch a hopper, you shift click. So we're going to, remember how I said that we were dividing it into 4? This is why. So, like this. And so we're going to be turning all of this into a rail. Now again, rail uses a lot of iron, but it's not powered rail. It's just regular rail. Which just uses iron instead of using all the gold and redstone. Now, if you mess up, that's okay. Let's say you do 3 in a row. It's going to cause that. That's okay. Just get your pickaxe out, break those ones. Those ones are going into the hoppers, and just finish it off. Alright, here we go. So all these are done. Let's jump up and take a look. So we have now covered the entire area with these circular rails. Which kind of looks cool. Ton of iron, but that's okay. That's why we have a fully functioning iron farm. So the next step is our hopper minecarts. So let's grab the rest of the iron. Why do I have more sticks? So we're going to need 64 hopper minecarts. So we need 64 chests. And I got too much stuff. 64 chests, and then I'm going to need a little bit more iron. So 64 hoppers. Now we need 64 minecarts. Wait, they don't stack, do they? Oh man, this is going to be annoying. Alright, so we're going to turn them into my hopper minecarts. I forgot they didn't stack. Alright, so we're going to go down and come back. That's fine. It's all good. So we're literally just going to be placing them. Let's go on the back. It doesn't matter where you place them. Just get them down. And by it doesn't matter, I mean it doesn't matter where on the circle you place it. Even if you bump it and it moves, totally fine. Alright, here we go. So each of these circles now has a hopper minecart on them. Now comes the fun part, putting all the dirt in. So we're going to need these 4 stacks of dirt. And the good part about the minecarts is that they're not going to care if you are in their way. I think I've snooked myself. That's fun. And I don't have a shovel. Oh man, this day gets better, doesn't it? Where's the entrance? Okay, so now we have this area here. We just need to hoe. Actually, before we hoe it, we are going to need to get some stairs and do some water. So we're going to need 4 stairs. So we want to make sure the edges are all covered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this level here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we break that one out and we put a stair there. Doesn't matter which way it faces. Then we come to this edge over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take that one out and put a stair down there. Make sure that it is, so it doesn't matter which way it is directionally facing, but we need to make sure that it's going up as opposed to an upside down stair. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. Is that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. This one here. So. And probably line it up. This line here. This one here. Okay, and just because this is going to annoy me if I don't, time to get my tools back. Like so. Okay, over here, let's go and make an infinite water source. 2, 3. Got our 2 buckets of water. And there. And there. Tuck in the middle. And we waterlog this one from the middle. And we waterlog. And take it from the middle. Waterlog. And then we fill it up because we never leave our buckets empty. Alright, so we have all this done. Next up, we're going to make 4 composters. You only really need 1, but for purposes of symmetry, I'm going to do 4. Alright, let's make those composters. So we got 4 composters. Actually, while we're here, let's make the jack-o'-lanterns too. I need to carve those pumpkins. My bad. So, if you don't know, to carve pumpkins, they need to be out like this, and then you need a pair of shears. So you get your shears, and then you just right click on them. You can hold it down and move through. That's fine. You'll get some seeds from those. Make sure you save those, just because we always make sure that we save our stuff. So now we use an axe to break them. So we've got our 12 carved pumpkins and we've got our torches. So 12 carved pumpkins, 12 torches gives us 12 jack-o'-lanterns. So I'm going to put a composter on each of these. And we're going to put a jack-o'-lantern on each. Now, a jack-o'-lantern, the face will be facing whichever way you place it. So if you want it to be nice and even, then face it the same way each time. So we have those ones, and then with these ones here, so that if you want it to grow at night, then we want to be putting one probably here. We need one in each corner, and we need one in the middle. Just roughly, it doesn't need to be exactly middle. So the next step is to create a fence around the area. So you can either build it into the hill, or the calculations that I've done are based on having a too high fence all the way around. So I'm actually going to build that, and to do so I'm going to have to do a little bit of terraforming, so I'll be back when that's done. Alright, now we have terraformed the outside area. It's looking not too bad. So could probably get rid of that anyway. So what we need to do next is sort out the fence. So we have these 58 dark oak logs, because I want to make it a dark oak fence border, and then we're also going to use the acacia logs to make slabs. And I may have made too many of those. I think yeah, that doesn't look right. I think I must have grabbed some from when I was chopping down the trees. Okay, so now let's find dark oak fence. So the fences where, if I've counted right, we're going to need 136 of those. That's going to be too many. That's fine. We can always use more fences. So I have marked out where these are. This is the border. Now the reason why I left a 2 gap there and then terraformed after that was because I don't want mobs jumping over. So the design of this particular fence, you could do glass if you wanted, but oh man, are you serious? Yep. Okay, this fence needs to go one back. You know what? I kind of like the look of the lanterns in the fence. Actually, no, it'd be fine. Because we're actually going to put slabs on top. That area's got to go. See how I can jump across like that, and if I can jump across like that, then a zombie or something can jump across like that. Oh boy, I swear I can parkour. Okay, so the reason why we're building the fence like this is so that spiders can't climb it. So the spiders can climb the fences, but if you have a slab on top, then the spiders can't climb over. Next step is to hoe all this area, and of course I left the hoe elsewhere. Wow, are you serious? My hoe broke 1 square left. Ah, joyous. So we have everything ready to go. All we need are the seeds. We need to hoe that 1 spot, and then we need to bring the villager over. So I'll clear a path and sort that out. Alright, I'm actually going to take a chance on this baby villager. Hopefully he doesn't turn out to be a nitwit, because that would be bad. One of the reasons to not lead through a village is because they are you often get 2 villagers jumping in. That villager can stay in there for now. Let's hoe that. Should probably give him a bed somewhere. Okay, let's put this bed close enough that it will link to it, but far enough that it can't do anything about it. Let's put it there. That's good. You can link. Yes. Okay, excellent. So, can I have that, please? Thank you very much. And let's just lock him in there and hope that he doesn't turn into a nitwit. Actually, scratch that. Let's get the farm started. So farmers won't start planting stuff unless there's other things around. So while this baby is maturing, we can have the wheat starting to grow. Alright, so that's all done. We can cut ourselves out. So now we wait for the baby to grow up. I'll be back when that's done. Alright, so we managed to avoid getting a nitwit. Got ourselves a farmer instead. So I do have some more seeds for him. Oop, don't fall in. It's getting caught in the hopper. There's a dead spot there. Come on, pick him up. Ah, no. Fun. Huh. That's cool. Let's actually just lock his profession in. So with this method, there will be some dead spots. Usually around corners and such. Don't link to my bed, link to your bed. Most of the wheat that this guy harvests will be picked up through the ground by the minecart hoppers. And then it'll all be funneled into our chest. So as you can see, that was from before I started building. So you're not going to get any zombies spawning in here because the light level is way too high with all these jack-o'-lanterns. It's a little overkill on the jack-o'-lanterns if we were trying to mob spawn. However, they are there to make sure that everything grows overnight. Let's see him in action. Come on. You're going to plant some stuff? Don't look at me, get to work. So the eagle-eyed among you will have noticed that this guy is not, in fact, a farmer. He is a fisherman. And that's because I have a barrel in my base just over there, and in my infinite wisdom I locked in his trade, didn't I? So that was great. So I've gone over to the farm and I've gone over to the village and got myself a farmer. So yep, he's locked in as a farmer, and he's also a wheat farm. Yeah, he trades wheat, so I will be able to trade this wheat to him if I so choose, but he is getting on with it, and that is all good. So we now have our wheat farmer doing his thing. That's good. And soon we should have wheat showing up in here. Oh, there we go. He has obviously started harvesting. Give me see it. Alright, so see he is harvesting the wheat now. That's good. Now there will be some wheat that lands on the ground and stays there, but as you can see it does disappear. He will pick up some as well. So let's check it out. Yep, so wheat's coming in, seeds are coming in. We could do a sorting system and send all the seeds into a composter. But that is a problem for another day. So this is my automatic wheat farm using villagers and minecarts and rails and all kinds of stuff like that. But it doesn't use any moving parts. Also, if you don't need to spawn proof the bottom where the minecarts are, because if a spider gets in there, for example, it's just going to move the minecarts around, and that will actually, funnily enough, that will actually help pick up items if they're moving around like that. Anyway, so I hope you found this useful, and I will see you in the next one.